What's up, guys? This is Sam the Geek back here with another video, and today's video is going to compare the Garmin Fenix 8 51mm versus the 47mm, and we're mainly going to do a little bit of a face-off. This is the video that everybody's waiting for, to see the size comparison between the two watches. We're going to kind of get these things even, and I'm going to do a measurement of my wrist for you guys so you guys can know kind of how big my wrist is with this 51mm here. And then the 47 as compared to the 47. And I'm going to do various shots. I'm going to take off the sweatshirt and just show a short sleeve shot so you guys can see the whole arm. And then I'll compare it again to the 47mm. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about what my experience has been. I've been trying the 51mm here for about a week or so. And I've been using the 47mm here for basically since launch. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change out the bands, because you guys can see I do have the white band on this just for fun. And I will put the OEM band on, and I will also get in front of the camera a little bit so you guys can get a good view of what this thing looks like on my wrist. So this is a hard decision between these two watches, and hopefully this one will help. All right, so to get started, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off my 51mm here. Actually, we'll just take this one off for now. We're going to get a measurement of my wrist. And so just to give you guys some perspective here, I'm about 6'3", and about 200 pounds, a little over 200 pounds. Pretty lean, pretty muscular. So I don't have the biggest wrists. My wrists aren't huge. My wrists are probably average, if not smaller. Forearms and arms are, a little bit bigger just from working out and stuff like that. So again, pretty muscular, but I'll give you guys kind of a conclusion here in the end. But I want to start with this because everybody's going to ask, how big my wrist is. So, inch-wise, if I measure from about here, it looks like I'm falling right at about 7 inches around at kind of below that little wrist bone here. And let's just try, what would this be, centimeters? Let's try it this other way as well and see what we're reading this way. If I can get this guy all the way around. And it looks like right about 18 on this side. So hopefully that helps you guys. That's always going to be an important question. So if you guys are able to measure your wrists kind of at the smallest point, I'm right at about that, maybe 7, a little over 7. See, when I open my hand, closer to just under 7 1/4. So that'll give you guys an idea. The other thing is, again, I'm 6'3" and about 200 pounds, 205 pounds. So this is an interesting one because I'm going to do several angles for you guys here. Again, I'll kind of get in front of the camera and give my 2 cents and just kind of what I'm thinking about these two watches. So if you're watching this video, you're probably just trying to get a good view. So let me step back here a little bit and just kind of show you guys. You're going to get the glare from the lights, but again, like with the long sleeve shirt on, here you go with the 51mm. Let's kind of show that off from a few angles. You can kind of see the top. So clearly the 51mm is going to be thicker than the 47mm. It's going to be a little bit heavier. I noticed the difference in weight is not super dramatic, but as you guys are familiar, really the difference between these watches, let me get on the other side of the camera here. I'm going to duck around without tipping everything over and show you guys this 47mm. Kind of just spin around, center this up a little bit here, so you guys can get a good shot of the 47mm here. And the front, again, like I said, this is going to be a little bit thinner watch. Back to the 51. And we'll swing it around for the 47. So the biggest difference, obviously, is going to be it's a little bit thicker. If you were to compare the two, you can see the thickness. And I could take these off in a minute and kind of do a little bit more of a comparison. But the difference is, mostly what I notice is in the 26 millimeter band versus the 22 millimeter band here. Much smaller band, as you guys can see. Let me just compare these two. I'm going to grab these guys and let's turn back the light here again. So this is a comparison so you guys can see the band size difference. We just put these guys next to each other. This is going to be your 26, this is going to be your 22. You can see a pretty significant difference in size. So ultimately what I think this does with the 51 millimeter is it really sets, like it really balances the watch really nice. It's my just 2 cents. I think Garmin did the right thing with the 22 millimeter band with the 47, just because I think it's going to appeal to most people, but I would have liked to see maybe like a 24 millimeter band on this. I think it would have alleviated alleviated a lot of people from having to go with the 51 if that's what they wanted. By that's what they wanted, I mean like the bigger, more tactical, rugged, masculine style of the 51 millimeter versus the 47, which I think has a little bit more of a modern look to it, as you guys can tell. Hopefully I'm not moving my hands around too fast. I really want you guys to get a nice comparison between the two. I'm going to kind of stand here so you guys can see the difference. And this was the video that I felt like I was missing out on when I was shopping for these things, is just having somebody really kind of get up here with the different watches and just kind of show them off as I step back a little bit further for you guys with the 51. And we'll get the 47 in here as well. So again, the difference in battery life, okay, both of them are going to have the same exact screen. They're both going to have the 1.4 inch screen. But the difference is you're going to get 13 days of battery life with this with the always on display. You're going to get 7 days with battery life with the 47 with always on display. So what is that, a difference of like 6 days, 5 or 6 days, depending on how you're using these things. But that's what Garmin rates these things at. And that's, I believe it. I mean, this definitely has a significantly more, you know, when it juices up, you see a lot more days worth of battery, and this thing just like is a slow trickle versus you're going to throw this on the charger every few days. You're going to get a few extra days naturally out of this. So what my 2 cents on these watches so far is that the 47 millimeter to me seems to be, and I'm going to spin back around here, the 47 millimeter to me just feels like the logical choice for most people. This is going to be the lightest weight. You're going to get all the bells and whistles that you get on the 51 millimeter, just in a lighter package. And really, I mean, you just can't go wrong with that. It's a little bit more modern look because of the size of the bezels. So the pros of it, again, are lighter weight, you know, a nice modern feel. And if you're going to wear this thing 24 hours a day for sleep and everything else, I just don't think you can go wrong with the 47. So this is going to be for the majority of the people. However, on the other hand, no pun intended there, but on the other hand, the 51 millimeter is going to be that more like, you know, the masculine, rugged look. And it's going to give you the additional battery life. What I do like is, you guys can see here, like check out the bezel. So some people are like, you know, it has a bigger bezel. Why would you want the bigger bezel versus the narrow bezel of the 47? But look how nice that looks. That's a really nice looking bezel. It's like this brushed, and it's not black. It's almost like a dark gunmetal. So I really tend to gravitate towards this. But again, the thing is, for me, I like the look of the thicker band. And again, I'm going to do kind of a side-to-side comparison here in a second. But the thicker band for me and the 51, I like the balance of it with the thicker band. I tend to kind of snug it up one more notch when I'm working out, but it really kind of does the trick for me. And having like longer arms and being 6'3" and a little over 200 pounds, it just, you know, I think I can pull this watch off. I could, you know, this one looks great too. In fact, most people that I'm asking, they're like, I can barely tell a difference between each one, and you can go either one. And so that kind of puts me in a weird position, because I'm like, well, I could go with either watch. So what it comes down to here, guys, is I think it's really going to be which you guys are probably already thinking already, it's going to be personal preference between these two watches. That's kind of what it comes down to. I'm going to put the original bands on for you guys here, just so you're able to see the black versus the white. And actually, you know what, since I can, I'll just do a little side-by-side comparison here. So I'm going to hold up the 47 next to the 51 here. We'll kind of zoom that in so you guys can see thickness here. And again, here's the front of that one, and then we turn it and you can see you get a lot more bezel, but that's a really nice looking bezel. So I just don't think you can go wrong with that. I already pretty much compared the bands for you guys size wise, but let's do this. Let's put on the factory color in this case, and we'll see. There's one more thing I want to talk about. That's the LED light. We'll cover that here in a second. Oops, I'm putting the wrong band on the wrong watch. So let's go here, let's go there. And this is going to be the 47 with the 22 millimeter factory black band. And we're just going to lock this one on. And then I will put the factory band so you guys can see what it looks like factory. And then I'm going to take my sweatshirt off too, because that might help. And then we'll put this band on as well. It's just kind of fun to see a different, you know, comparison of colors and whatnot. And then that way, if you guys are shopping for this exact watch, you'll see what the black band looks like. So hopefully this is helping you guys out so far. Yeah, I didn't see any videos out there that really just sat down and kind of showed just a direct comparison of somebody doing what I'm doing on video right now to show you guys. But you see, I mean, that to me, it doesn't seem too big for me. But if you like a bigger watch, so you get kind of the whole arm in there. And then I'm going to do kind of the same thing here with this one. And you guys are getting a little bit of the reflection, but here I'll kind of pull back a little bit. So see, to me, I don't know, it's like a little better, it's just a better balance on the 51 for my take anyway. So that's that. So let me just take the sweatshirt off so you guys can just see arms without a shirt in the way. That way you guys kind of get the whole, you can see my arm in there. So that's kind of, you know, 51. And I'm really getting that glare off the screen. Now I'm going to try again with the 47 here. And you know what? I'm going to switch around for you guys. Let me just get my shot here. Okay, there we go. All right, 47. You guys can see 47, kind of with the whole arm. Try not to move too fast. See the back of the band here. So you definitely, obviously, you can see the difference in the band. Both of these are really great options, you guys. I'm going to scoot back around the camera again. I'm getting a third workout for the day here doing this, but yeah, final comparison here between the two. I'm going to kind of do my show off here of both of the watches. Try not to move too fast so you guys can get a good view. All right, so final thoughts on this. I really think the majority of the people, again, are probably going to go with the 47 millimeter. It's a lighter watch. You're going to get all the same bells and whistles of the 51, just in a lighter package. And why not go with the lighter package? You know, if you have sweaty arms and sweaty wrists from working out and running, you don't have a thick band, you know, you can air it out a little bit sooner. And when you're running, you just feel like you have less weight on your wrist. So that's a good thing. But if you like the look of the 51 millimeter and you like the additional battery life of this guy, then again, I don't think you can go wrong with this. And one last thing to talk about here, and that's going to be the flashlights. If I can show you guys here, you're not really going to see the flashlight clearly in the videos, but let's shut those off. So I did a little comparison in a dark room. It was at night, really dark room, and I kind of let my eyes adjust to see if there was actually a difference between the two watches. And yes, I did notice the red LED light anyway on the 51 millimeter was probably, I would say maybe 20% brighter. But let me clarify that, because it wasn't just brighter, it was like a wider shot. So it was probably just as bright as the 47 in the center. But to me, there was about a 20% wider spread of light. So I could tell because I shined this in the same spot on a picture that I shined this, and the 51 millimeter was actually significantly bright. It was like lighting up much further than the picture, whereas this guy was kind of cutting off right in the picture frame. I kind of did that by design just to see which one was going to be brighter. But for whatever reason, I don't know, there must be just a different LED diode or something in this that does give it a little bit brighter, a little bit wider spread, but it is negligible. I would say I would never recommend buying the 51 millimeter over the 47 because you say, oh, it has a brighter flashlight. That's silly. This flashlight is great. And it took me a while to even notice a difference between this. And then I started to see the wideness of it. And I was like, oh, okay, that is a little bit brighter. But other than that, let me take these off one more time so you guys can see for a last shot. 51 versus 47. Really, I would love to keep both, but these are crazy expensive watches. So I think what I'm going to be doing is probably keeping the 51 millimeter. I just like the tactical feel of it. It just has a little extra weight to it. A little better balance, I think, although it's a bigger watch. Again, I think this would have the same balance if it had a 24 millimeter band. But I like the balance of this watch. I like it's a masculine watch. Again, I'm 6'3", a little over 200 pounds. So that's, with long arms and pretty muscular. So that's a good, I can get away with the 51 millimeter. I just think it's with that, it's just motivating to have your big old Garmin watch on you and doing your workouts and your running. And I just find it kind of a motivational tool that I wear 24 hours a day. Pretty much. And by the way, like, I can sleep with either one of these watches. I'm totally used to the 51 because I used to have a 51 in the back. So that's one other comment, just to put a bow on this thing. If you've had the 51 millimeter before and you were comfortable with it and loved it, then you can totally get away, just order the 51. You're going to be happy with it. If you've always if the only reason you had a 51 was because of the bigger screen, then you could get away with the 47 millimeter. So lots of choices. There's no definitive answer. It all comes down to super personal preference here on which size you feel is better. If you're a taller person, you're a bigger person, you have bigger wrists, you're super muscular, bodybuilder, whatever, totally get away with the 51. If you're a leaner guy, maybe under 6 feet, or just a very skinny kind of runner, which is totally cool, but maybe the 47 is going to be a little better fit for you. So hopefully this helps you guys. It's a long video, but lots of showing off the watch in a lot of different angles. And you guys give me a thumbs up if this helps, and enjoy your Fenix 8, whatever way you choose. And we'll talk again down the road. Thank you much, guys.